Hey guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome to the biggest facelift I have ever seen, on a car that is, because it looks like I'm driving the all-new 7th generation Opel Corsa, but in fact I'm still driving the current 6th generation. However, they gave the car such a big update that it looks like a completely new Opel Corsa. And in this video I will show you what this car looks like on the exterior, in the interior, and I'm gonna tell you all the specifications. After 40 years, the Opel Corsa, or the Vauxhall Corsa if you're from the UK, is still one of the most important cars for Opel. 30% of every Opel sold is a Corsa, and last year the Corsa was the most popular car in the UK and in Germany. Now there's a renewed version that has a completely new look. Just like any other Opel model, the Corsa now has the Opel visor, which is this big black bar on the front of the car, and also the two headlights are involved in the Opel visor. The headlights still pretty much have the exact same shape as the outgoing model. However, the inner works, so the daylight running lights, is completely new, and now they have a more angular design, so the car has a more aggressive look to it. And giving the car the Opel visor look makes this car look like a completely new model. Now you also get some new wheels on the renewed model. You can get 16 or 17-inch wheels. This particular version has the 17-inch wheels with the aero design, so they're a little bit more closed off, which is good for aerodynamics. There's also a completely new color, this gray color, which is called Graphic Gray, I guess in German. You can also get a black roof on the car, but I do believe you have to pay extra for that. I think you have to get the black package for that. They get a lot of other black exterior design elements as well. More on that later. You can also get a panoramic roof like this particular version has. It's a pretty massive roof for such a small car, but again you have to pay extra for that. Now the rear end design is identical to the outgoing model. It doesn't have a completely different shape like the front end. What is however new now is the fact that Corsa is spelled out in full on the hatch, and you also can get a black Vauxhall or black Opel logo if you go for the black package. Trunk capacity is obviously identical. If you go for this electric version, you get 276 liters. If you go for the regular version, you get a little bit over 300 liters of trunk capacity. The backseat area is still pretty cramped, which isn't that unusual in a car in this segment. However, if you got like 2 or even 3 kids, they got plenty of room, and they also now get 2 modern USB-C ports. Here in the front there are a lot of updates as well. You get a completely new steering wheel that still looks a little bit outdated, to be honest. You still get a lot of physical buttons, which I actually really like, but they do look a little bit old-fashioned. And you also get a completely new digital gauge cluster, which also looks a little bit outdated, if I'm honest, because you can clearly see there's a lot of hard black plastic on the side of the screen, which kind of gives it away the fact that the screen wasn't supposed to be there in the first place. But in the end it's not such a big deal, because it's still very nice to have a digital gauge cluster in the Opel Corsa. Now in the center you get a completely new infotainment system and infotainment screen. You get a 10-inch screen with some new hardware, some new Snapdragon chips, which make the system a little bit faster than before. It's still not the fastest infotainment system out there, but it is plenty fast and it's really easy to operate. And luckily you still get some physical buttons for the climate controls down here. Down here you also got a USB-C port again, and also a little pad where you can charge your phone wirelessly. You also get 2 cup holders here, and in the center armrest you get some small storage space. Then let's talk drivetrains. You can still get regular petrol engines in this car, ranging from 75 horsepower up to 130 horsepower with a 6-speed manual or an automatic. Later they will be introducing a hybrid version with a 48-volt system, so basically a mild hybrid version. Maybe more interesting are the electric versions. There are now 2 electric versions, and it used to be only 1 version. Now the previous version is still available with a 160 horsepower electric engine, which is a little bit more efficient. So now it would do 357 kilometers on a full charge. However, you now also can get a new electric motor and a new battery pack with a capacity of 51 kilowatt hours, giving the car a range of 405 kilometers. And the new electric motor has a power output of 165 horsepower, giving this car a 0 to 100 time of 8.1 seconds, which isn't lightning fast for an electric car, but for a car in this segment, it surely ain't slow. It's a pretty rapid car, especially if you put the car in sport mode. Now, I would advise to always put the car into sport mode, because only then you get the full power output. Because if you put the car in normal, you only get 102 horsepower, and if you put the car in eco, you only get 87 horsepower, and then the car is actually pretty slow. So just put the car in sport, not because you want to do some sporty driving, because 156 horsepower is just what you need in a car like this. It's not too much, it's just adequate, and you don't want any less in this car. Now obviously 405 kilometers on a full charge is only theoretically. In reality, it's more like 300 or 350 kilometers depending on the weather or your driving style. Now whatever version you go for, the car can fast charge up to 100 kilowatts, which is pretty decent for a car in this segment, and then you need around 27 minutes to charge the car from 20 up to 80%. So that's everything in a nutshell on this renewed Opel Corsa or Vauxhall Corsa. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and if you want to see more videos like this in the future, hit that subscribe button, and then I'll see you in the next one.